Hey guys, this is JMan Seductions, and before I start this new ATI rant, I just want to give a quick shout out to Genko Art because he gave me a request for a new ATI rant, which will be episode 3 of this. But the only reason I didn't use it for this episode is because I thought up of this episode before that episode, if that even makes sense, but I don't want to bore you with that. So anyway, if you want to request one, feel free to, and I will probably do it if it's good enough. Like, he requested a really good one and I got a lot to talk about in that one, so yeah, go ahead and request a rant if you want to. I'll do it, it'll be fine. Don't know when, because I've got a lot that I've got planned, but yeah, whenever. So anyway, on to the rant. So before I start the rant, let me just give you a rundown of what the ATI rants are and what this rant's going to be about. ATI rants, meaning addressing the issue rants. There's loads of issues in YouTube, in life, in games, anime, and I like to address those issues and just rant about them. That's what the ATI rants are, and that's why they are made. This one is going to be on one of the ways that many gamers out there use research to buy their games, like before they buy their games, and that's review scores. Now, I have a problem with review scores because there's some people take them too seriously, and those of those reviewers out there are really biased. So on to the rant. Okay, when you're buying a game, usually it's because you have a preference towards the game you're buying. So say I want to buy, I don't know, Sonic Colors. I'm a big Sonic fan, so I want to go out there and buy it. And yeah, that's just me. I think it's cool and whatever. If I see a review on it by, let's say Game Trailers, and they give it 6.7 out of 10, does that really change my attitude towards the game? Well, not necessarily. This is one of the things I'm going to address. People taking review scores way too seriously. I mean, so many games out there have gotten good review scores, bad review scores. Let's look at all of the Call of Duty games. All of them get good review scores, but when we think about it, aren't the Call of Duty games really just the same game over and over again each year, and just a cash cow for money? They don't bring anything new to the table. I mean, if you like a game, you should just go out there and buy it. Yeah, you want to research it, but you can check. There's other ways of whether you're going to buy it or not. You can check up some gameplay, trailers and all of that. You don't necessarily need to rely on reviews or one review. I see some people out there that check out one review and they instantly drop a game. People check out one review from IGN and they drop a game. It's horrible. At least if you're going to rely on reviews, at least check ones from IGN, Game Trailers, GameSpot, Kotaku. I don't know, what else am I missing? Like, just check out even reviews by some of your people on YouTube. Some people on YouTube do like some reviews. Check out them. Don't rely on one source, because different sources have different preferences to different games, and that's what kind of messes up the review process. And that's one of the problems with it. Like, certain sites, how am I saying, may have a bias against certain games, and that's what I'm going to go into right now. Okay, as I mentioned before, I am a pretty big Sonic fan, and yeah, I take pride in that. I like playing the Sonic games, and if you know by now, if you're moderately into games, you should know by now, Sonic games have gotten a lot of flack for certain things, and sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But let's move on to the other things. There's Mario. What I've noticed is I know the Mario games are better than Sonic games overall. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to be some fanboy here. But at the same time, if you put Mario on anything, if there's a mediocre game out there and you put Mario on it, it will instantly get high scores for no reason. I mean, there are some reviewers out there who just as biased as hell. If it's got a certain label on it, they will give it a good rating instantly. I mean, I'm not saying some of these Mario games, I'm not saying they don't deserve what they're getting, but sometimes it's just like they're not that good of games. Mario Sunshine wasn't even that good of a game. Mario Galaxy 2, yes, fair enough, that game was superb, but certain times they don't need it. Like Call of Duty franchise, they've been milking out the same game every single year, and yet they still get high review scores. So do the sports games all the time. It's like the reviewers just get paid by these companies to just bring out a good review score, and everyone else follows their review scores, and it just messes up everything. I mean, some of them just rate the same game. It's like they're reviewing the same game every year and they'll still give it the same grade all the time. And I mean, I'm talking about Call of Duty. I'm talking about like many of the sports games that don't change up at all. I'm partially talking about Mario as well, because he's like the video game Jesus at the moment. And I'm talking about the Sonic games. Sonic games always get the bad review scores. Sonic Adventure, when it first came out, that game got like pretty good review scores. One of the best Dreamcast games out there. It just got good review scores all around. When it was re-released on the PSN network, the Xbox Live, all of the downloadable platforms, the game got like really low scores, and this is the same game that was praised so highly before, and the only excuse that IGN and some of the other reviewers had is that the game just didn't hold up to today's standards. That's not a good excuse. Fair enough, they didn't fix some glitches, they didn't give it a graphical upgrade, but still, that game still holds up, and many of the people that actually play these games still think it does. I don't think it's fair that the way this industry works sometimes is whoever's got the highest amount of money will just buy their way into their game getting good reviews. It shouldn't work like that, and I don't agree with it. It's a really stupid way of deceiving some people into buying the same game every single year. This rant is not just aimed at the people that review and the people that are biased towards these games. This is a rant at some of you guys, because you listen to them constantly. Each word they have to say, you listen to them, you buy the same things just because the review says so. I mean, it's up to you. Have your own free will. Review scores are not the only valid evidence of a game being good or bad or not. It's up to you. You should decide. Some games, like White Knight Chronicles, that game got bashed to hell. It got like 5 out of 10s all around. I thought it was an alright game, deserving of at least a 6.5, and it got like 5s out of 5s. I mean, no, not 5s out of 5s. That was horrible. It got like 5 out of 10. It wasn't a very adequate review score. I mean, you guys, you have to take other ways of researching. Don't just go to the first review up there, or don't just listen to just what a reviewer has to say, and just, if you like something, go out there and try it. I mean, there are things out there for you to test out games before buying them. There are resources out there where you can do this, so you can see whether you like the game or not. You can go rent games. There's demos out there. There's many things for you to test out the games if you want to. Like, I don't know about, I think in America they have GameFly or whatever that is. Right, we have Love Film, where you can just, I mean, you have to pay £10, like one-off payment for the whole thing, and you can rent out 2 games at a time and keep them as long as you want, and then when you want a new game or 2 new games, you just return them back, and then they post you the new games that you want. And you can just keep doing that and test out some of the new games, see if you like it, open your horizons, not just listening to the same person. Or PS, if you've got online capabilities, which most people have, the consoles nowadays do have, you can just connect it up to your online thing, like whether it be PSN or Xbox Live, and just download some demos and try it out before you just listen to the same thing. I'm going on and on about this because I know people out there who would just click on the same thing, the same review by the same critic, and they will always go by it and always stick to it, and it's not a valid way of seeing whether a game's good or not. It's just, also this applies to anime, movies, games, whatever. It applies to loads of things, anything that can get reviewed. Just finding a way. If you're on the verge of buying something, then a reviewer crashes it down, or if you don't know about it and the reviewer crashes it down, or if they rate it highly, even if they give it good scores, just if you really are curious, just find a way of testing it out or seeing how it is before you just go out there and cast judgment on it without knowing what you're talking about. Anyway, the moral of the story is, don't just trust one source. Go out there, expand your horizons and try it out for yourself. This has been J-Man's Productions on the J Zone, a new ATI rant. Hope you all liked it. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much, but I felt I needed to. And this has been an ATI rant on review scores. Live and learn, good luck, and God bless. It's just opinions are like assholes. Nah. I'm gonna edit this, but nah. This is a long pause. I'll probably edit this out, but opinions are usually opinions are always different, people. That reviewer might have a different taste and opinion to what you think, so just try things out before you just get all excited and say, no, I'm not going to buy this game.